In the last class, we started the chapter number 2. And before we got into chapter number 2, we tried to understand certain basic principles of attaining knowledge and peace. So we saw 4 steps involved in it. Step number 1 is to first discover that I have a problem. This is very, very important. And second is that after discovering that I have a problem, I am in a helpless situation, which means I cannot do anything to resolve this problem. I need to seek something from the external source. So that is identifying the helplessness of oneself. And the third step we saw is that after identifying my helplessness, I need to find a source which can help me and surrender myself to that source. So the third step is surrendering to the source, which is going to provide me the solution. And the fourth one is practicing the steps that is being provided by the guru or whoever as a solution. Now these 4 steps were very, very critical steps, and one for a person to get into spirituality, obtaining that spiritual sense, these are very, very important things. So we dwelled upon this in detail because many a times we are looking for we are seeing the problems as external aspects. All the external factors are responsible for my problem. That is how we look into things. It can be people, it can be material, it can be nature, whatever you can say. They are all responsible for my problem. But what I discover is that no, the problem is within me. I am the problem and the problem is within me. That discovery leading to how will I be able to get out of that. With the knowledge that I have with me right now, I will not be able to do that. I need to go for a source that will get me, that will help me to get out of this problem. That is the condition of helplessness which we saw. So once I identify that I am in a helpless situation, that I need a source, then we need to surrender to the source and accept them as our guru and be ready to listen and follow whatever they say. And the step number 4 is that putting that into action or pursuing the solution for attaining the spiritual path or to get out of any problem for that matter. Why I mention here spiritual path is that primarily this is what is very, very important for us, which will take care of all the other aspects in our life which we consider as problem. And the second thing we saw in the last class is that is Bhagavad Gita for Arjuna alone or it is for everyone? So the problems that Arjuna was putting forth to Krishna is that I cannot fight this war because I cannot kill my kith and kin, my gurus and the Pitamaha. I cannot kill them. I don't want a kingdom which I get out of this. So this is what is Arjuna's problem. This is what in Arjuna Vishada Gandha Yoga we saw this in chapter number 1. So if that is a problem, then and if Lord Krishna is going to provide a solution for that problem, then we will not be able to get this Bhagavad Gita for us. But the actual problem is Raga, Soga, Moga. Is attachment towards his kith and kin, leading to sorrowness, and that leading to delusion, which is making Arjuna to come to a conclusion that I will not be able to fight this war at all. So the actual problem is not killing his kith and kin. The actual problem is his attachment towards them, which is leading to sorrowness, the loss of them leading to sorrowness, and which in the end leads to the delusion. And Lord Krishna is addressing these 3 issues, that is Raga, Soga, Moga, thereby Bhagavad Gita is for all of us. He is not addressing the problem of killing Dhritarashtra or killing his kith and kin, because if that is the case, then we are in no way connected with this Bhagavad Gita. But Lord Krishna is addressing the three problems, basic problem: raga, that is attachment; soga, that is sorrow; and moga, that is delusion. Hence, we found that Bhagavad Gita is for all of us. So we also saw one more point in the last class, that can Bhagavad Gita be told to everyone? Is it for everyone? Even though it is there for everyone, can anyone get into Bhagavad Gita? We also saw a condition there. People who have surrendered themselves to the Lord are the only one who are eligible to listen and learn this Bhagavad Gita. It makes sense only for them. People until then who believe that I am not the problem, I can solve, I am not in a helpless situation, so I don't need a guru. These people, Bhagavad Gita should not be taught or recited. So it is only for those people who have surrendered to the Lord, identifying the problem and also identifying their helplessness and looking for a solution. So now Krishna was in the second chapter. Krishna started whipping or condemning Arjuna's action. He was very strong in his communication, saying that Arjuna, from where did you get this such a low, impure thought? And this is not a good virtue for an Aryan. Doing that also, that too in front of or in the front of the battlefield will not get you fame. So he says that, why are you doing this? Why such a cheap, impure thought came to your mind? And that's not a virtue of an Aryan. And that too doing here in front in the battlefield will not get you fame. And Krishna was not satisfied with that. Krishna wants to give him one more strong dose to wake him up from that slumber, from the confusion which Arjuna has got. So what does he continue to say? He says, Arjuna, don't lose your manliness. This doesn't fit your status. He says, as a Kshatriya, it is your duty to fight a war, and that too when you are in the battlefield. So doing this, what are you doing to yourself? You are losing your manliness. So Arjuna, don't do that. So what he says, throw away this weak-mindedness and get up and fight Arjuna. Until this we saw in the last class. Till now we can say that Lord Krishna has not started his Bhagavad Gita. He has not started advising or giving that preaching to Arjuna. Why? Because Arjuna is still not prepared to listen. He has still not surrendered. He still thinks that he has got the solution. He still thinks that he does not have a problem. The problem is outside. The problem is his kith and kin and not he. So Lord Krishna waits. He just wants to wake up Arjuna from the slumber, from the delusion, make him realize that what the hell you are doing here standing. And now Arjuna, now the sloga 4th from which this class starts is, we will still understand that Arjuna has not come out of this delusion. He still continues to say that, Ho Madhusudana, how can I kill Bhishma and Drona, fighting them in the war? They are people to be respected. I treat them with reverence. So Arjuna is still in the same mindset of how not to fight this war, how that he is not able to kill or fight the war and kill his people. So what does he say? He says, Hey Madhusudana. He is addressing Lord Krishna as Madhusudana. We will come back to this very shortly by saying, how can I kill Bhishma and Drona by fighting them in a war? He says that I can't fight them and kill them. How can I do that? How can I fight with these people? Why I am not able to fight with them? I respect them. These are my people whom I respect. I treat them with reverence. So how can I fight with them and kill them? This is what Arjuna says. And why does he address Lord Krishna as Madhusudana? He says, Krishna, in all your years, you have killed only the Rakshasas. Madhu is a Rakshasa which was killed by Lord Krishna. So he says killing a Rakshasa is not a big deal. But have you ever been in a situation killing your own relatives, kith and kin, Krishna? So you don't know how it feels to kill your kith and kin. I feel that. So for you, Krishna, it is very easy to tell me where does this your impure thoughts have come. Because you have not come across such a situation. You have never been in my situation where I have to fight against my kith and kin and kill them. So he challenges Krishna in a way, saying that, no, how can I do this, Madhusudana? Indirectly saying that you don't have that experience of killing your own kith and kin. And continuing, Arjuna says in Sloka 5, killing people of great stature, it will be okay for me to live as beggar's life in this world. All the wealth, fame I gain by killing them will be tainted with blood. So Arjuna continues in the 5th sloka by saying, instead of killing the people of with such a great stature, it is okay for me to live a beggar's life, taking Bhakshyam. So there are two words which is said here. One is Bhiksha and another one is Bhakshyam. And Arjuna says, refers to Bhakshyam. We will understand what is this Bhakshyam shortly. But he says, what does he say? He says that instead of killing people like Bhishma and Drona, I will go for begging. Now the point that we need to understand here is that Arjuna says killing Bhishma and Dronacharya in the war is a sin. He says, I cannot kill. Instead of killing such great people, it is okay for me to go begging and live my rest of the world, life in this world. Now we have to understand here a little bit more that there are two sins right now. Sin number one, as a Kshatriya, his duty when there is a war, he has to fight in the war, irrespective of with whom he is fighting. If the war is for a purpose of dharma, then the Kshatriyan should not think with whom he is fighting. He is only fighting for one cause, to save the dharma. And here the fight is between dharma and adharma. We know pretty well what Duryodhanadis have done for Pandavas. So this is a war between dharma and adharma, and for Arjuna as a Kshatriya, it is his duty to fight this war. Running away from the war or denying to fight in the war means he is choosing the adharma path or path of adharma. This is point number one we need to understand in this sloka. And point number two, Arjuna says it is okay for me to live a beggar's life. Now, when we say beggar, I need to use the right word here. It is not literally sort of a beggar that today we understand about begging. As I told you, Bhiksha, living on Bhiksha. So you know that Lord Krishna has divided this whole the people in the world into 4 varnas and 4 ashramas. What he calls as a varna ashrama, which we will see in detail as we go down in the Bhagavad Gita. The varnas are Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaisya and Sudra. And the ashramas are Brahmacharya, Grahasthasrama, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. Now in this, the Bhiksha, I am going to use the word only Bhiksha because when I use the word beggar, it will be totally misinterpreted, because we know only one knowledge of begging that we see across in our country. So I'm not going to use the word beggar here, I'm going to use the word bhiksha. Okay, now we'll see these 4 ashramas here, the brahmacharya, grahasthashrama, vanaprastha and sannyasa. Out of this, the 3 ashramas, brahmacharya, vanaprastha and sannyasa, people who are in these 3 ashramas are allowed to live their life on bhiksha. The grahasthashrama, the people who are in grahasthashrama are not at all allowed to go for bhiksha. Why? Because these are the people who are going to give bhiksha to the other 3 ashramas. So their duty is to provide bhikshas to the other 3 ashramas. In that case, they are not supposed to go for bhiksha. And Arjuna is in the grahastha ashrama. So as per ashrama dharma, Arjuna is not supposed to choose his life on bhiksha. And the second one, if you go as per the varna ashrama, which is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, out of which only Brahmana is allowed to go for a bhiksha. Kshatriya is not at all allowed to go for a bhiksha because he is there to save all the people. If he gets into bhiksha, then who is going to take care of the others? So as per the Varnashrama dharma, Arjuna is not entitled or is not allowed to go for a life with bhiksha. So there are 2 adharmas here. One, refusing to fight is adharma as per Kshatriya's dharma, and okay to get into the life of bhiksha is also an adharma because as per the Varnashrama dharma, Arjuna cannot get into that. So now what Arjuna does is that out of these 2 adharmas, he is now trying to choose which can be a weaker one. He says that out of that, according to Arjuna, he says bhiksha is better one for me, Krishna, so I am okay with this. So see, when the people are in delusion and they want to take decision, their decisions are always going to be a wrong one. And that is what we see here with Arjuna. Now he started choosing between 2 adharmas. And Arjuna is not a character of that. He is a very learned scholar. He knows the Shastras very well. And he has lived all his life till now as a true Kshatriya. Wherever there has been a war, he has never hesitated. He has never thought of going back. But that type of an Arjuna, when he is attacked by raga, attachment, and which is followed by sorrow, and that led to delusion. Now the same Arjuna is taking wrong decisions. He is now ready to choose between 2 adharmas, which is not the character of Arjuna. So what we have to understand here is that when you are in a delusion, the decisions that you take are definitely going to be wrong decisions. And that's what we learn here from Arjuna. And Arjuna continues in Sloka 5, says that all the wealth and fame I gained by killing them will be tainted with blood. Okay, Krishna, as you said, I may get up, fight the war, win the battle, and I'll get back my kingdom. But Krishna, remember one thing. Whenever I sit in the throne, whenever I see anything in the palace, wherever I start moving in the kingdom, I could see the blood stains of Dronacharya and Bhishmacharya there. So how can I enjoy this kingdom? That's his point. I will see their blood stains even if I win the war and get the kingdom and I start ruling the kingdom. Anything and everything I do and I see, I will see the blood stains of these people. My kith and kin's blood stains I will see. How can I enjoy that life? So why do I need a life like that? So this is what again Arjuna says is reasons for refusing not to fight the war. So I told the 2 words, Bhiksha and Bhakshya. Bhiksha, it says when you take a food from one house, it is called a Bhiksha, when you go for asking food from different houses or from many houses, it is called as Bhakshyam, and Arjuna is ready for Bhakshyam, ready to take food from many houses and Bhakshyam, and he is ready to take food from many houses. He is ready to go to the forest. He is ready to go anywhere, and he is ready to take food from many houses, and he is ready to leave. So the chapter 5, this is sloka 5, this is what Arjuna says. So I'm ready to choose the begging option than killing the people of this stature, and even if I fight and win the war, Krishna, I will see the bloodstains in everything and anything that I see thereafter. So he says, I will not fight the war. And what we also understand from sloka number 5 is that when you are in delusion, your decisions are going to be wrong ones. And now, till now, he is in a decisive mood. He has made his decision very clear. Decision number 1, I will not fight the war. Decision number 2, I will not kill them. And decision number 3, instead of fighting the war and killing them, I am ready to choose begging. So he has said this. This is what my status is very clearly told. Now coming to sloka 6, you see a small change happening within Arjuna here. He says, moreover Krishna, they winning us or we winning them, which is good for us, I don't know. Now he is slowly moving from delusion or a decision making to a confusion. He says, either I win, either we win, or they win. What is there good in this for us? I don't know. Here he is not concluding. He says, I don't know. So there is a step down approach from a decision making with a delusioned mindset to a confused mindset. It is always said, a confused state is always better than taking a wrong decision. Now Arjuna is slowly coming down to that level, and he says, people whom I kill, after killing them I cannot leave. Those people are there in front of me, Krishna. So now, instead of refusing I will not kill, he is now slowly saying, Krishna, by losing the people thereby where I cannot live by life, those people are there right in front of me. So there is a step down approach in sloka 6. So first he says, I don't know what is the good in it. Either they winning us or we winning them. Okay, which is good I don't know. Which is good I don't know, Krishna. And also, who are the people who are standing in front of me? These are the people, if I kill them, I cannot live. Those people are standing in front of me. Now, we have to see this line number 2 of sloka 6 like this. So, the people who are standing in front of me are those people whom if I kill, I cannot live. This is one way of looking into it. How is it? The people who are standing in front of me, that is the cousins, my cousins who are standing in front of me, whom if I kill, I cannot live. The other way is that the cousins whom I kill, thereby I cannot live, are standing in front of me. Now I don't know what to do. You understand the difference? The right way of understanding this, the line 2 of the sloka 6 is, the people whom if I kill, I cannot live, are standing in front of me. Now I don't know what to do, Krishna. You understand the difference? Yeah. So the second state, the second way of looking into is a way of a confused state. Now Arjuna has got into the state of confusion from a decision making. He has now moved into a confused state of mind. That is sloka number 6. And we will also see sloka number 7, where Arjuna Now almost got down to the surrendering stage. In sloka 7, Arjuna says, my mind is incapacitated. It's become non-functional because of my helplessness on which is dharma and which is adharma. Now what does Arjuna says? My mind is incapacitated. My mind has become non-functional. This is now slowly he started understanding the problem is with me. My mind has become non-functional. He says my mind has become non-functional. Why it has become non-functional? Because I am in confusion. I am in a state of misery. Why? Because I don't know what is dharma, which is dharma and which is adharma. Killing them is adharma or dharma. Fighting the war is dharma or adharma. Getting away from the war is dharma or adharma. I am confused because of this. So my mind is in an absolute non-functional state, and I have also become into an helplessness state because of this confusion, which is dharma and adharma. So now what is the situation? Therefore, I am asking you, Krishna, to tell me that which is right for me. I am your student. I surrender to you. Now there are two words used in sloka 7 by Arjuna. Word number 1 is that a student, and second one is surrender. Now very, very important. He's saying that, now see, I told you in the beginning, if you want to get into this spiritual line, I told you the 4 steps. Identify the problem. Now Arjuna has identified the problem. What is that he has identified? The problem is not outside. The problem is within me. So he says, my mind is incapacitated, or my mind is non-functional. Why is it non-functional? I am not able to take a decision. I am not able to find out which is dharma and which is adharma. Thereby, I am in a helpless situation. So the second step is that my helplessness. So Arjuna has also realized his helplessness, and now what does he do? He surrenders to Lord Krishna and he says, therefore, Krishna, I am asking you to tell me that which is right for me. He says, give me a very strict prescription, that which is right for me. Don't tell me this is also okay, that is also okay. That can also be done, this can also be done. No, you don't give me that type of an answer. He tells me what? That which is right for me. So he says that's what surrender. When you surrender to the Guru, the mentality that you have to do is that whatever is right for me, you tell, or whatever you are telling is right for me. That mentality we should have. We should not go to a Guru to assess the Guru. We should not go to a Guru to see whether what he says fits to me or not. Many times this is what happens. We seek some people's advice and then we start analyzing whether that will fit into my agenda. No, that is not the way we should approach for solution. You should be a true student. Who is a student? A student is the one who doesn't know anything. When you know something, you are not a student. Because you know that you can become a teacher. But as long as you are a student, you should be in a mindset that I don't know. So when I don't know something, how can I analyze what my Guru is telling? When I don't know something, how can I try to fit into my way of looking into it? So in training programs, we say that first learn to unlearn. So first is that learn to unlearn. And then unlearn to learn. Very, very important. Now Arjuna says, I don't know Krishna. Now you have to tell me that which is right. The word that is emphasized here. No, don't give me choices, this or that. One thing, you do this. So in other way, what does it mean? You give me a prescription, what I should do, I will do. That is what called surrendering. Arjuna is in the third stage. He is now surrendering, and he uses two words. I am your student, I surrender to you. Now, in our life also we need to remember, because we have this attitude, we have this approach. When someone says something, whether they want our advice or not, we start giving advice to them. When someone says, particularly suppose right now the exams are over, that's a season, and people who have completed, who are going to complete their 12th standard plus 2, they might be trying to pursue their higher educations, their graduation. So someone will say, I'm planning to learn computer, and suddenly you say, computer? Now it's a hopeless subject. Now don't go for computer. I would say that banking is the best. I would say you go for CA. That's the best thing. And he will give a lot of examples why CA is good. Poor guy, he never asked for his suggestion. You only told him, this is my plan. Now we have to learn here from Lord Krishna that particularly the managers in corporates, please don't start giving advice to your subordinates. Don't think, the moment the subordinate comes with some solution, don't start giving him the advice. You wait for him. Has he come to tell you the problem, or has he come to seek a solution from you? If he is telling the problem, listen to the problem. So when a subordinate has come to tell you the problem, just listen to the problem. Listen what he says. If he is seeking a solution, then you start giving a solution. If you can. That too. But until then, don't start giving solution. This is what I have seen in many corporates, managers too. When I do training programs in leadership programs, there's always suggestions flowing, irrespective of someone needs or not. I will very strictly say that habit should be gone. Unless someone is asking you, what should I do now? Can you tell me? Then you give a suggestion. Whether it's in your personal life, as parents, every parent thinks they have all the right, they are capable, eligible, and their only duty is to give advice to the children. My dear parents, no. Observe your children. Allow the children to take their own decisions. And when they fail and come to you, seeking your advice, seeking your solution, please provide them. Now, why do I say this? For a very, very important factor I say this. For a very, very important reason I say this. If you are going to give advice to someone, even before they seek for it, or even if they don't have the intention to seek the advice, that advice is going to be an absolute waste. It loses its respect. It can be a very valuable advice. It can be a very valuable suggestion. But when such a valuable suggestion is given to a person whose intention is not to seek advice from you, it becomes absolutely an invaluable substance or a thing. Example, if you are going to give a 500 rupee note to a small baby, your intention is that with this 500 rupees, their parents will buy something for them, for the baby. I am not denying your intention. But if you are going to give that 500 rupee note to the baby, a small child, what does the child do? It doesn't know the value of 500 rupees. It starts playing with that 500 rupees. Sometimes it tears off that. Is it not so? But is it right to scold the child? Is it right to say what the child did is absolutely wrong? No. The person who gave the 500 rupee note to the child, he made the mistake. The child didn't do anything because the child has no value for the 500 rupees and you're giving the 500 rupees. You give that 500 rupees to the parents of the child, they will obligingly take that 500 rupees, keep it safe and buy something for the child later because they know the value of that 500 rupees. So, why I am saying is that don't give free advice, don't give advice just because you are in a position to give advice. Don't do that. You give advice only to the seekers who surrender to you, who says that I surrender to you, I am your student, please tell me what is that one thing that I can do. Like what Arjuna did. And that is why Lord Krishna, in spite of all the powers he has got, in spite of all that magical powers he has got, he could have simply mesmerized Arjuna and given him the Bhagavad Gita, but that is not going to be effective. And Lord Krishna knows very well. He waits till Arjuna surrenders to him and seeks his advice and begs for his advice. And now what happened to Arjuna? From a warrior, Arjuna the warrior has now become Arjuna the student, and the chariot driver, Krishna the chariot driver, is now going to become the Krishna the Guru. Which Guru? Jagat Guru. Why Jagat Guru? The Bhagavad Gita, what is going to say is for this Jagat, for this world. So a chariot driver is now going to become a Jagat Guru. Before he becomes the Jagat Guru, we also have one more point to see that what Arjuna says. This is sloka number 8. In sloka number 8 he says, that I am in such a problem. Whatever wealth I get, the greatest wealth in the universe, the greatest kingdom that I get to rule, whatever that I get, Krishna, my problem is not going to be solved. So now that is another important point we need to understand. So Arjuna also realizes whatever that I am going to get from outside, it can be the greatest wealth in this universe. It can be the great kingdom with all lovely people where he can rule that kingdom beautifully. All those things, Arjuna says, is not going to give a solution for my problem. It is not going to take care of my sorrow. That's what he says at sloka number 8. And he is also now come to a conclusion that all this wealth and fame and kingdom, etc., are not going to solve my sorrow. Not going to take care of my sorrow. My dear friends, the key learning from this Bhagavad Gita, from this sloka number 7 and 8 is very, very important. All our problems are not outside. Whatever you get from outside, how much ever you get from outside, I am sure our sorrowness has never vanished from us. We are still running for something which can take care of our sorrow. Yes or no? In many of my training programs, when I ask people, are you happy? How many of you happy? Can you please lift your hand? I hardly see someone lifting their hand. But they are running and running and running for this happiness. They do all those things. They go for vacations, they earn money. Why do you earn money? You earn money to spend. And as long as you keep on spending, you stopping earning is never going to happen in your life. And why do you spend? You spend to get happiness. And where are you spending? You are spending on all those items. Your TVs, cars, luxurious home, air conditioner, refrigerator, vacations, dresses, socializing, drinking, smoking, earning more and more wealth. You are spending your money. Finally, you spend a lot of money even in your healthcare. I don't say it is an healthcare. I will say it's on medical expenses. Because when healthcare is already there, your health will be in a fit condition. Because we never cared for health, we have to go for a medical option. So we spend a lot of money on medical management also. So there is a stress management where we spend a lot of money. Medical management is where next we spend a lot of money. This two spending happens in spite of spending a lot of money on those things which you thought will give you happiness. You have already spent a lot of money on those activities that you thought will give you happiness, and finally now you are spending money to get relieved from stress, to take care of your health. So dear friends, sloka number 7 and sloka number 8 very clearly tells in chapter number 2 of Bhagavad Gita, very clearly tells that the problem is not outside, the problem is within me. Arjuna realized that. He surrendered to Lord Krishna and telling that I don't know which is dharma and which is adharma, and whatever wealth, positions, kingdoms, comfortness I get, I don't think that is going to take care of my sorrow. So Arjuna, please tell me that one right thing that I am supposed to do. That is where Arjuna surrenders. This is a concise of sloka number 7 and sloka number 8 of chapter number 2. And he surrenders and he says, I am your student, Lord Krishna, and now I am surrendering to you. Please help me. I am helpless. After hearing these two slokas, my dear friends, and those who are watching this video, further whatever is going to be said by Lord Krishna to Arjuna in the form of Bhagavad Gita, if it has to really impact you and give the real benefit that it is supposed to give, my request to all of you is that please surrender to Lord Krishna and treat yourself as a student. If you have any queries, because we are going to see a lot of things in the coming slokas and in the coming chapters which may challenge your belief system, which may rise to a lot of doubts. Many things you may not get clarification by hearing once from me. In such situations, please post your comments in the YouTube where you see this video. I'll be more happy to respond to your queries. Now, as Arjuna keeps as many queries, as many questions to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita as it goes on, I really look forward from you people also to ask as many questions. For one simple reason, which I very bluntly put it across, a learned scholar like Arjuna is asking that many questions to Krishna when he narrates the Bhagavad Gita. What about us? We should have lakhs and lakhs of questions. Yes or no? If yes, then you are listening to Bhagavad Gita. If not, you are hearing only to Bhagavad Gita. So the choice is yours, my dear friend. Whether if you are a listener, I am sure you will be throwing questions back to me. But if you are in a hearing position, I am sure I will not be getting any questions from you. So with this, I am closing this class. In the subsequent classes, we will start listening to the Bhagavad Gita of Sri Lord Krishna. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shant Shant Shant.